Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Let us do a video on Ethereum. We'll just follow Ethereum here. It's starting to make some moves, so we will see where it's going to take us. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me just post the video in a few different places, and then we will jump in. All right, let's just take a look at where we are. So Ethereum is it just over $1,800. So we're sort of in that phase again, and I'll probably do a video on this later. We're in that phase where, I mean, Bitcoin's above the 20-day, right? And it's where we would want it to be. I can't even remember which one of these is the 20-day anymore. Probably that one. Let me see. No, that's the 8-day. That's the 8-week. Sorry, I'm on the weekly time frame. Let me switch over to the daily time frame. It should be that one. Okay, so the 20-day is currently for Bitcoin is currently at 56,507. So Bitcoin is above the 20-day moving average, and Ethereum is somewhat coming to life a little bit, right? A little bit. It's nothing to get out of bed for yet, but remember, as long as Bitcoin stays below its prior all-time high, and if Bitcoin is above its 20-day, then this is really good for Ethereum. A lot of times this can be really good for Ethereum. So we'll see what happens with Ethereum. We'll see if this is the breakout or not. But right now we are coming in at around 1805, 1806. The Ether Bitcoin valuation is still not that impressive, right? It's still at 0.0313. So we still have a ways to go there, right? 0.0313. And here on this weekly chart for the Ether Bitcoin valuation, we still have come down, a fair amount. So we're still a lot lower than we would like to be, and for us to really get back on track, we have a long way to go. Okay, I mean, even from this point, to get back up to this channel that we've been tracking, we would still need to see another 10% up just to get to that, right? Just to get to that, we need to see Ethereum go up 10% with respect to Bitcoin. And that just gets you back to the bottom of the channel. I mean, if we were to go to the top of this channel, we'd be looking at maybe 70, 80%. So that's a long way to go. We'll take it one step at a time, but it is nice to see Ethereum come to life a little bit. Now it's at 1809. We know the prior all-time high for Ethereum was around $2,040 or so, give or take a few dollars, right? What's a few dollars among friends? But it's around that level. So I just want to say, there are a lot of people recently that are saying that Ethereum's dead and whatnot, and that you should sell it and stuff. I think a lot of this is just a misunderstanding, people not really understanding the technology, and just saying sell it so they can pump some other micro cap coin. I think that by taking these people's advice, you're not doing yourselves any favors. I mean, essentially, I'm not saying that altcoins won't outperform Ethereum. I hold altcoins because I want them to outperform Ethereum. But trading altcoins to Ethereum at levels that altcoins are at levels when a lot of altcoins are at very historic levels of overvaluation against Ethereum, you just have to wonder, right? You have to wonder if that really is the smartest play, and you have to wonder if these people that are telling you to do that, are they just succumbing to the same type of emotional decisions that they claim they don't want you to succumb to. So when someone's telling you to sell your Ethereum for altcoins, I don't think it's coming from a rational perspective at all. Like, I don't think it's coming from a rational perspective. I think they're just chasing the pump, right? They're chasing the pump. And this is what I do hope that people who watch this channel are able to avoid, is the idea of just simply chasing pumps, because it's not what you should do in crypto. That's a lot of times that is how you will get burned. I would say, establish your positions, and then you just wait for the pump to come to you, right? You don't chase the pump. You establish the positions you want, and then you wait for them to start moving. If you start chasing, then you're already putting yourself at a disadvantage. So again, I love ADA. I love it. I love other altcoins as well. But I'm not about to go trade my Ethereum for these altcoins. I mean, I have these coins and I'm happy with my positions. But you trade your Ethereum for these other coins, you're also going to incur a taxable event depending on where you live. And then to make it worse, what if you make the trade and then Ethereum then outperforms the other coin? So I would say to take a step back from the market and then to really look at Ethereum and recognize that it's actually doing quite well. And despite the fact that its market capitalization is so high, it still is up over 2,000% in about a year or so. So don't let the short term go, don't let that stuff get to you, right? I would say don't let that stuff get to you. And so we'll want to keep an eye on Bitcoin, of course, because we know that Bitcoin will ultimately dictate what Ethereum is capable of in the short term. If Bitcoin can hold these levels where it's above the 20-day moving average, then hopefully Ethereum can continue cooking for a while. By the way, if you guys like the content, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Let's go for 300,000 subscribers. The reason I've been making so many Ethereum videos recently is because there's so many people making videos where they're bashing Ethereum and telling you to sell it and whatnot. And again, these guys are succumbing to their emotions, I think, not rational investing. Yeah, and I mean, I have altcoins, right? I have positions in a lot of these altcoins, but I think the difference is I don't actually think any of them are going to replace Ethereum, right? None of them are actually going to replace Ethereum. Maybe they're going to carve out their own niche, but they're not actually replacing Ethereum. If you think about it from a practical perspective, okay, think about this very practically for a minute. Ethereum has by far the most developers on it, okay? You have these other chains that don't have nearly as many developers, but they have lower gas fees. Well, why would they have lower gas fees? It's common sense, right? I mean, if Ethereum has the most developers, and Ethereum's been developed for years and years and years, if they wanted to lower the gas fees, they could. They're choosing not to. Why are they choosing not to? You have to think about what is the reason they're choosing not to. And it's because they don't want to sacrifice that level of decentralization, right? If they wanted to, they could do it. Again, a lot of these other coins are just clones of Ethereum. Like Binance Smart Chain is basically just a clone of Ethereum with higher gas limits. So I'm not saying that these coins can't perform well. I think that ADA, I think that BNB, I think that Polkadot, a lot of these coins, I think they're going to perform well. But they're not going to replace Ethereum. Because if Ethereum wanted to solve the issue the way these other chains are solving it, they would have already done it. But Ethereum, the miners do not see this as an acceptable solution. Therefore, that's not what's being done. Okay, so I actually dig into the fundamentals behind the project. I know we don't talk about them much here. We just put out a video on it yesterday. But the reason I did that was because I was getting somewhat disenfranchised with a lot of the people in the community, because everyone's saying, Ethereum is dead, and that, Vitalik doesn't care, and all this other stuff that literally just doesn't make any sense at all. But they're just saying it because they had to sit for a few weeks while the price has been consolidating. Emotions will ruin you in crypto, in my opinion, right? And it's bad advice that these people are giving, especially if they want to do it. It's one thing, but then they're telling all their fans to do it as well, which I think is even worse. So take that for what it's worth. I'm very bullish on Ethereum. You're going to have to let it, sometimes you have to let things consolidate for a while, especially when it's up 2,000%. Also recognize, too, that one day there will be a correction, and I'm guessing that Ethereum will not correct as hard as some of the other altcoins. So yes, altcoins have more upside potential, and that's why I hold a lot of altcoins, right? That's why I hold a lot of altcoins. But when things come back down, you'll want to have larger positions in Bitcoin and Ethereum because they will help protect you against some of the downside risk. Okay, so I would look at this in terms of a macro investment, right? I have Bitcoin, Ethereum, I also have Chainlink, Cardano, and Polkadot, as well as a few other coins, but they're weighted in ways so that I'm protecting myself against the downside risk. So now we're at 1815. So we'll see what happens. But again, don't get discouraged if people on YouTube or Twitter are telling you that they're selling their Ethereum, because I guarantee you that most of them have no idea what Ethereum even is. They probably don't, right? I mean, honestly, they probably don't even know what Ethereum even is. Keep that in mind. By the way, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up. Yeah, I agree. Ethereum is one of the best technologies in the crypto space today. If not the best, right? Yeah, most people don't look into the fundamentals. I agree. And again, on this channel, we don't even cover the fundamentals a lot because I think other things are more enticing, more, people love it more in a bull market. And I say leave that for the bear market. But, sometimes I guess I just assume that people are, have a little bit more understanding of what they're investing in. But then when I look around, and when you see like major people on like Twitter and whatnot that have like 100,000 followers saying things, and then it's obvious they have no idea what they're talking about, this is somewhat discouraging to me because I'm like, okay, well, if these guys don't know what they're talking about, and now they're sharing that information with these other guys. Nicholas says, I think it's interesting to note that while Ethereum has been above the bull market support band for a very long period of time, its extension has not been as pronounced as previous cycles. Well, I would agree with you. I would say, yeah, you're right, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to. Something to consider. Well, actually, it probably will not become as extended, but what you said is actually a very interesting observation that I think to understand it fully, you actually should start with Bitcoin. Okay, and then look at the extension from the 20-week moving average, which is part of the bull market support band. Okay, and whenever I pull up this one, it just takes forever to load. But let me switch this over to the weekly time frame. So again, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Bitcoin, right? The extension from the 20-week moving average decreases, right? It decreases each cycle. So you see it decreasing each and every cycle. It's not able to be as far extended as it was prior cycles. So the same thing will probably apply to Ethereum as well, right? I would expect the same thing to apply to Ethereum. Obviously, we don't have as much data, but if we go and put on the log of the price divided by the 20-week moving average, and we'll switch this over to an exchange that has slightly more data, so we can go back a little bit further, I would assume that it will not be quite as extended as it was prior cycles. But that doesn't necessarily preclude it from coming back up to some of these areas where it would still be extended from the 20-week SMA, but not as much as it was, say, the last cycle or maybe the sub-cycle before that. So what I would say is if you look at this chart, again, it's nothing more than the natural log of the price over that 20-week moving average, right? The 20-week SMA. And so to solve for where it could theoretically go, you just figure out what this value is here. And again, there's going to be some wiggle room in this line because we really don't know how to draw it. But let's be conservative and let's underestimate. Let's underestimate, right? I think it's better to be conservative than to overestimate things. And I mean, now Ethereum is at 1826. Again, I got very discouraged yesterday when I saw a lot of people on Twitter and YouTube encouraging people to sell their Ethereum because they're basically telling you to do it at historical all-time highs or very extended overvaluations of alts against Ethereum. So it was awful advice, awful advice. But if we were to take this into consideration and say, okay, well, what if it were to go back up to 1.04, 1.03 or something? Let's look at that. So if we take the log of the price divided by the 20-week SMA, well, for Ethereum, where is the 20-week SMA? Well, right now it is at coming in at a modest $1,274. Okay, so if Ethereum is coming in at $1,274, or the 20-week moving average is at $1,274, then we just put that into the equation, and then we would set it equal to where we think it could theoretically go. Which, by the way, this would probably be an overestimate. Basically, based on this analysis, on extension from the 20-week moving average, right? Even if we don't make it to prior levels, right? Even if we don't make it to that level, and we don't make it to this level, maybe we come down and we can make it all the way down to this level. Even from that analysis, it would suggest the price of Ethereum could theoretically go to $3,600. So the only reason I'm saying that is because I'm not saying Ether will go to $3,600. I'm not saying that it has to go to $3,600 in the short term. What I am saying is that if you look at the level of overextension from the 20-week moving average and just compare the price today to prior cycles, and note that Bitcoin has seen similar areas of diminished extension from the 20-week moving average, then it's theoretically possible, and it actually doesn't break the model of diminishing returns or overextension from the 20-week moving average, right? So it would not break that model even if it went to $3,600 this week. Do I think it's going to go to $3,600 this week? No. But even if it doesn't, right? Even if it doesn't, it's still on the same track that it's been on, right? If you look at some of these bottoms here, it's more or less just slowly moving up, right? It's the same path it's been on here for quite a while now. So hopefully we'll get a little bounce here, and we'll start cooking again, and then people will stop whining about Ethereum not doing anything for a few weeks. By the way, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Let's go for 280,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up. Let's get to 1,000 likes. We're still not even at 300 likes. Remember, we also have a Telegram channel. I will link the Telegram channel. We have almost 29,000. Well, we have 28,000 people. If you guys want to join it, you guys can join it. I'll post the link here in the chat. But remember, I will not message you first. So there will be people that will probably pretend to be me. I will not message you first. And also we have the altcoin season sale. We'll keep it going for 2 more days. So come April 1st, the altcoin season sale is going to be over. So make sure you guys check that out. Subscribe or sign up for the premium list. You can lock in the lower rate, and you'll get access to these trade and view indicators, the weekly reports and videos, the Telegram alerts channel, the Telegram chat room, the risk dashboard, the Into the Cryptoverse app, and more. We have more stuff coming in Q2 as well. But some of the stuff I'm working on for Q2 it's taking a while, so be patient. I haven't announced it, but I would say be patient on that. All right, so I'm just looking at some of the questions. Yeah, so Ethereum is now at 1831. Remember, in order for Ethereum to go on a run against Bitcoin, now it is moving up slightly here. It's now at 0.0314. I swear it goes to 0.0314 a lot. I mean, really, it's going to the valuation basically where 1 Bitcoin equals 32 ETH. But in order for this to really move back up, we don't want Bitcoin to go back into price discovery mode. Okay, so if Bitcoin goes back into price discovery mode, basically the chances that Ether Bitcoin come down are fairly high. So we still have some wiggle room on that for Bitcoin, because right now it's at 58,270. So 58,270. So we have some wiggle room on that. We know that for it to go to a new all-time high, it would have to go like, $62,000. If it went to $62,000, it would definitely be a new all-time high, no matter what exchange I imagine you're looking at, unless some had a Wix to that level. But we have some wiggle room for Bitcoin on it still remaining below its prior all-time high. So if it does that, then I still think there's a decent chance that Ether can run here. But we need Bitcoin to do that. And if it doesn't do it, right, as we said about a month ago, we just kick the can down the road, right? You just keep rinsing and repeating the same damn thing. You kick the can down the road, and hopefully we get to another phase where we have that drop, bounce above the 20-day, and then some consolidation by Bitcoin. How do I think a Link will perform? Well, Link's actually having a fairly decent day today, I think. It looks like it's up. Yeah, I mean, it's up. It's back up to $28. If you look at Link, it's up a modest... well, this isn't even updated. Link is up a modest 5% on the day. Again, I've been saying this for a few months now, and anytime I make a Link video, I get some comments where people are saying, like, oh, yeah, this guy's too bearish. What I've said with Link is that look towards the summer for hopefully a major move. Yeah, it can go to $30, it can go to $40, maybe even $50, but I don't really see Link going to 3 figures, probably not until this summer. Now, if I could be wrong about something, that would be something that I would like being wrong about, right? I mean, I have my Link position. Whether it goes to $100 now or later on is somewhat irrelevant to me. But what I would say is that in order for Link to really shine, you want to see Bitcoin completely calm down, and Bitcoin's not doing that right now. And so because Bitcoin is not doing that right now, I don't think that Link is imminently about to go to 3 figures. Yes, it can trend up, and I would not be surprised to see it go to $30 or $40, but I don't think it's going to 3 figures while Bitcoin is in this sort of territory where it continues to go into price discovery mode. So I'm very bullish on Link. I think my thinking with Link is that the summer is going to be Link's time. That's my thinking. We'll see if it plays out or not, but that's generally what I think about Link. If you look at prior cycles for Link, or say sub cycles, or just generally where it has been, the summer bubble. There was a major summer bubble in 2019 where we went all the way up to $5. So it shows you how quickly times can change, right? So we hit $5 in the summer of 2019. We hit $20 in the summer of 2020. So $5 in 2019. That was the peak bubble for Link of 2019. And then in 2020 it was $20. So I'm looking towards the summer, hopefully. So I mean, I don't know if we're gonna have to come back down to the bull market support band before it bounces back off of it again. Not necessarily. I mean, there were phases over here where we just sort of were slightly above it and then we ended up blasting off. So I would say for Link, I'm very bullish on it. It could go up in the short term, but my thinking generally is let's wait till the summer. And the reason why I say that is because I'm sort of assuming that by the summertime, Bitcoin will calm down some. If Bitcoin does not calm down by then I would say it's going to be kicking the can down the road even longer for Link. But yeah, I'm saying for the summer for Link because I'm assuming that Bitcoin will be somewhat, at least relatively calm compared to what it's been doing the last 6 months. By that point, if that doesn't happen, then yeah, like maybe that sort of analysis would change. But anyways, as we say, right, when the dog's away, the cat will play, and when the cat's playing, a lot of alts don't play, right? If you look at some of these other altcoins, some of them are doing fairly well, but if Ethereum starts moving quickly, then it will steal the show. Like Bitcoin can steal the show. If Ethereum starts moving quickly, breaks $1,900, $2,000 or something, it will steal the show from a lot of these other altcoins. I mean, like, look at it. It's up 7%. 8 is only up 2% on the day. DOT 6%. XRP 3%. Uni 4%. And by the way, the times when you see the altcoins move the best is when the cat's away. So that's when the mice will play, right? It's a little analogy. So Bitcoin's the dog, Ethereum's the cat. The altcoins are the mice. So when the dog's away, the cat will play. When the cat's away, the mice will play. And the mice aren't going to be playing too much if Ethereum is going into price discovery mode. But right now, Ethereum's not in price discovery mode. It's still sitting shy of $2,040. So we're still a couple $100 shy of price discovery mode for Ethereum. But the dog's away for now, so we'll see if the cat will keep on playing and maybe make a run at $1,900. What's my advice for someone who is quite new to crypto? I think if you're new to crypto, you should probably recognize that the entire market is relatively extended. I mean, I know that's not what people want to hear, and the problem is that the market can stay extended for years, right? I mean, we don't really know how long it can stay extended for, but I think the first thing to recognize is you're coming into the market at a phase when it is relatively far extended. For instance, I mean, we were making videos on Ethereum over here saying that this was the accumulation phase of a lifetime, and this was the reaccumulation phase of a lifetime, and this right here is the overvaluation reaccumulation phase of a lifetime. Buying Ethereum at $1,800 is nowhere near as safe as buying it at $200, right? And there's nothing we can really say to change that. I do think Ethereum will go higher than $1,800 this cycle for sure, but it's not as safe of a play as it was buying it at $200. So if you're new to the market, I think you have to recognize that and maybe come up with a strategy where you're DCAing into the market and you almost hope the price goes down. So a lot of people might just FOMO in and go completely all in. And maybe, I mean, that can work out, right? There are cases where that works out. And in the stock market, actually, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that an all-in approach, or say maybe not an all-in approach, but a lump sum approach typically is better than a DCA approach if you have the money up front. The reason being that the stock market does generally just trend upwards. There are corrections, but if you could just get all the money in earlier, then usually time in the market is better than timing the market. But crypto is kind of different in that you can get 80 to 90% corrections. So timing the market can be somewhat important, right? Timing the market can be somewhat important. So I would say if timing the market is somewhat important, and you're coming in now, I don't necessarily think it's the worst short-term play in the world. I mean, even if you're coming in now, your 90-day ROI could still be great. What I would say is if you're new, if you're DCAing into the market, maybe hope the prices come back down, and then you can continue to DCA in. And if the prices go up, then at least you were accumulating. That's what I would do if I were new, but I'm not new. I have my positions at this point, and I'm ready to let them ride. But if I were new, I would establish positions through some type of DCA method, dollar cost average method. I would establish positions and then just hope the prices come back down so I can get in for much lower prices. A lot of people like to say they would buy lower, and they'll say, I wish the price would come back down. And then when it does, they don't put their money where their mouth is, right? They just keep waiting for it to drop and drop and drop. And then eventually it doesn't drop to where they want it to, and then they still don't have any. So it's a tough call, right? Because I do think we could be overextended for a lot longer. So telling people to not put money in might sort of give them the feeling of being left out. And so I would say if you're new and you want a ticket to the show, then you kind of have to bite the bullet and just recognize that if things do pull back down, hopefully you have money set aside where you can quote unquote buy the dip, I guess. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you guys like the content. Let's try to get 276,000 subscribers. I don't even know what we're currently at. I think we're at 275. Yeah, we're at 275,000. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you like the content, and check out the Telegram channel. I'll post that here. By the way, I know a lot of you guys are asking me about random microcap coins. I'm not going to talk about those because I really don't have any interest in moving the market on a microcap because it calls into question, motives, right? It calls into question motives, so I'm not going to talk about microcaps. But if you want to talk about microcaps, we actually have a dedicated chat room with almost 7,000 members. It's not called Into the Cryptoverse, it's called Into the Cryptocosm. So if you guys want to go talk about microcaps, I'm gonna post that in the comments here, so you guys can go shill your microcaps till your heart's content in that chat room. Leave it out of the main chat. The main chat is reserved for, say, market caps of $1 billion and up. If you want to talk about market caps, coins with market caps of below $1 billion, go do it into the cryptocosm. And remember, I will not message you first, okay? So if you get a message from someone pretending to be me, it is not me. I do want to... I know some people probably are tired of me saying that, but every single day it seems like people are getting contacted by people pretending to be me. There's Twitter accounts with the same number of followers as me, but it's not me, and they're pretending to be me. So just recognize that those people are not me, and I will not contact you first. And by the way, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, I'll actually just link it so you guys know which one I am. I'll just put it in the chat, and you guys can find it in the description below as well. Let's see. So yeah, Bitcoin. The market capitalization of Bitcoin is back over. Is back over $1 trillion. Obviously, it's been that way for, I mean, since yesterday, it made a fairly substantial move. So, if you're Theodore asks, if you are new, is it better to DCA into Ethereum or Bitcoin or other altcoins? I think a lot of people have this like misconception that you can only buy one. You know, if I were completely new, I would start with Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? I'd probably get positions in both Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin first, like the first buy would go to Bitcoin, but I would also get a position in Ethereum as well. And then once you have positions there, then you could expand to altcoins. But I think Bitcoin and Ethereum is where everyone should start. And I know in a bull market, it might not seem like it makes the most sense because altcoins can give you higher returns, theoretically speaking. But if there is a pullback, then you'll be happier to be in the higher market cap coins, and then you can buy a lot of those altcoins for cheaper prices, at least with respect to their Bitcoin and ETH valuations. So I would start with Bitcoin and Ethereum because those are basically like the index of the market, like the blue chips of the market. And then from there, you could expand to altcoins. None of this is financial advice, of course. Yeah, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin and Ethereum is where I think people should start. Why do I almost never mention or talk about VeChain? I mean, I guess I'm not really sure. I mean, almost. I mean, I do have. I have actually several videos on my channel about VeChain. It's just not in my top 5, right? I mean, I picked out 5 coins to mainly talk about on the channel: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link 8, and DOT. I do have other holdings and some other projects, but those are the main 5 I talk about on the channel. If I just bounce around from whatever is hot in a specific day, sorry, someone was calling me. All right. What other questions do we have? Let me turn my sound down, actually. That should help. Yeah, was that Forbes on the line? No, I'll have to cancel that one. We still have money to make, right? We still have money to make here. The warranty on my car is about to expire too. Yeah, it's crazy how many of those warranties will expire. All right. right. Well, I actually have to go in a little bit. Anyways, I mean, Ethereum looks good right now, 1836. As long as Bitcoin's not in price discovery mode, and especially if it's above the 20-day, I'm hoping Ethereum can continue pushing higher. Remember, the other projects are not here to replace Ethereum. There's nothing right now, in my opinion, that has a snowball's chance in hell of replacing Ethereum. They're going to carve out their own niche maybe, but they're not replacing Ethereum. So we'll see what stands the test of time. Do I check the charts first thing in the morning? I guess I don't check the charts. I mean, I look at the prices, but I'm not pulling up the charts. Normally, I have 3 kids, so normally that's one of the first things. Getting my kids to, one of my kids is in school, so getting my kid to school. All right. Ethereum. Let's actually switch this over quickly to a lower time frame, and see what's going on to the 1 minute, the dubious 1 minute time frame. Clearly, our house TA has been out of date for a while. We haven't been doing that, but 1763 earlier today. Then we made a move up to 1800, back down to 1778. Then we consolidated for a while at 1800. Now we're consolidating for a little while at 1830. Let's see if we can continue to move up. So, DC says the first thing I do when I wake up is refresh my portfolio until it's not at a loss. Yeah, there's a subreddit that I approve of. I mean, I have my own subreddit into the Cryptoverse, but there's another one called ETH Finance. Those guys are pretty helpful there, so you guys should go check out the ETH Reddit or the ETH Finance subreddit. All right. I can't actually stay on too much longer. I have to go. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the content. If you guys do, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. Check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. And remember, we have the premium list altcoin season sale. We're gonna keep that going for just a couple more days, so you can lock in the low rate there if you guys want to. Other than that, now we're at 1840. All right, let's leave it for a minute. We're not going anywhere yet. Let's leave it. Let's see what happens. We're at 1841. Looks like this is where we went, a few minutes ago. 1840. I mean, an $1,800 Ethereum is nice and all, but I would prefer a $1,900 Ethereum for sure. Let's see if we can push past it. The piranhas are eating. 1841. Yeah, Ethereum knew I was about to quit. They're like, all right, Ethereum can start moving now. I mean, it's doing relatively well here. I mean, on the day it's up. I mean, this is actually delayed by a little bit because you can see it still says 1834, but it's up, 7 to 8% on the day, as opposed to Bitcoin's 2 to 3% on the day. So Ethereum is looking pretty good. Let's actually, yeah. I mean, we'll keep it going a little bit longer. I was assuming it might consolidate here for a while longer, which is one of the reasons why I was fine hopping off the stream. But if we start moving up here in the next few minutes, then we'll stay on. We can stay on for another 15 minutes. I think is the most we can stay on. Yeah, I do think Ethereum will dominate the space. I mean, the market cap of Ethereum is significantly higher than any other crypto other than Bitcoin, right? I mean, it's at 211. The next one right now is Binance Coin, which is still only 1/5 of Ethereum's market cap. So I do think Ethereum will dominate most of the space for years to come. I really do. There will be, I mean, there will be times when people think other projects, I think, will overtake it, but I don't think any of those projects actually will overtake it. I also do not think, though, I mean, I am bullish on Ethereum, but I don't think Ethereum will flip Bitcoin either. So I don't think Ethereum's going to flip Bitcoin this market cycle. Maybe ever, but I really don't think that'll happen. And if it does happen, it would probably be relatively short-lived as well. Like, maybe it would only happen for a week or two. Like, if it does happen, I would assume it would be relatively short-lived. So I more or less think that Bitcoin will stay number one and Ethereum will stay number two. All right, well, we're back down to 1834. Maybe I'll use this as an opportunity to go ahead and call it quits. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, check out the Telegram channel. You guys can find a link to that in the description below. Check out the premium list. Thank you guys for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Definitely subscribe, click the bell icon to turn on your alerts, and I will see you next time. Bye.